common.
Hey guys, welcome back to Anime Royalty Radio. I'm Don Juan. With me as always is Mr. Spud, Aaron Legend,
Insert joke here.
and Vol. And this is like the 5th time we've done this, so if
We're getting there.
If I sound a little irate right now, it's because I'm really pissed.
And because I talked bad about his show.
That too. That's boiling over really quick. So today we're gonna go into our anime segment. And last episode, I recommended Zombieland Saga. You know, and we're in a split house right now. We're pretty divided.
No, actually, no, let's be honest. You like it. You're kind of with it just because of the last 3 and the first 2 episodes. I hate it.
Right.
Actually, it sucks big flopping donkey dick. There we go.
Yes, he quoted.
There it is.
We're quoting this at like, what, 2, 3 in the morning?
Yeah, sure.
That's when you sent the message?
Oh, yeah. When I sent the message, it was literally, I hate to be quiet about this. No, I cannot be quiet about this anymore. This anime is horrible and it sucks big flopping donkey dick.
What do you mean you can't be quiet anymore? That was literally like the first thing you said to us within like hours of that day.
Because I didn't say it before.
Okay, so...
Get their opinions on it first.
Well, no, hold on, because Vol, you talked about it like twice when we had to restart. Then Christian went into it. Now I'm going to go into it before you guys lose your minds doing it another like 3rd or 4th time.
Let's go. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go.
All right.
That's a thumbnail right there.
So the animation style is very, kind of current. It's very pretty. It's colorful. It's dynamic. It's not, airbrushed like early anime or even, maybe like the last generation of stuff that came out, but that's fine.
Which is fine.
For like a 12 episode anime, it's fine. It's short. The only problem with that, however, and just because I like it doesn't mean I don't have anything bad to say about it. All right?
I do.
Of course you do. Anyway.
I mean, it didn't bother you at all. It's switching.
It did bother me. It didn't bother me as much as it bothered you, apparently.
Because it was the ugly CGI style that you see in the new Applegate stuff.
Now,
they looked horrible.
Much like in some, I'm just gonna say like in the new Guts or even in other animes.
Oh, I'll give it to you there. The new Berserk is not pretty.
Yeah, that. But not only that, even in other animes where you have larger groups of people either off to the side or fighting or doing something dynamically, they use, CG because I guess it's a lot cheaper to render those models moving in a large group versus having them drawn. Now, if you notice, towards the middle to end of the series, they just kind of start doing this thing where they'll show maybe a few seconds of the group dancing, singing, whatever, and then they'll cut to individual characters, and it's not CG anymore, it's still drawn. And you can tell the difference between that and from like the second episode where they're out like doing the whole like flash mob, thing.
Yeah, that's the first time I noticed it, and it really bugged me. That was the starting point of what really bugged me. It was like, why switch?
Unfortunately, I really wasn't surprised because you guys have seen this a lot with newer anime. It's just cheaper.
I know, but they didn't even try to hide it. That was my biggest complaint with it, is they didn't even try to hide it. It was just there, and they went from looking actually pretty good drawn, I'm not even going to lie about that, to the nastiness of
yes, the 3D
CGIs.
models were very, hard in a sense.
Right. I
They weren't
don't
as free
think
flowing.
there's a reason to hide it anyway. Like, that's par for the course for any kind of idol anime. Like, every anime that involves idols dancing and singing, they've always got that 3D animation in. It's almost like you kind of have to do it just because of the anime that it's
I mean, I
portraying.
agree with that, but look at the ones that we're comparing to it. Like you said, they didn't even like make it look good. In my opinion, it didn't even look coherent. It didn't look good. It just was like, what is this? Why did we go from this really nice drawn thing to like these ugly, bright CG models of them that just look like they threw together in 5 minutes?
Now, I will agree it was rough, but at least we don't see this in every single episode. It's really only during certain dance numbers, and it's not all dance numbers.
No.
You know what I was saying? Now, character development. Let's talk about that. Honestly, only
that much.
Well, not every character got character development like
Zero.
Zero didn't get none.
Tai Yamada!
Yeah.
The legend Tai Yamada!
What? She had the smallest amount of character development. Like, you saw that she was a zombie, but even then she learned the dance moves.
It was more like her evolution as a zombie towards more of a more coherent zombie. And we see that, but it's not as, it's not as in depth as other characters. Like Lily. Lily's a boy. Lily doesn't like the fact that he's growing up and getting facial and leg hair, and then has a panic attack or goes into shock and dies.
It kills him. Yeah, it kills him. The best part about that though, Chris Sabat
playing the dad.
That was really tragic. Like,
yeah, I actually agree with you.
I thought it was funny as shit because Lily's like, I have a facial hair, heart attack, die, and I'm like, well, that was stupid. And then the doctor's like talking to Chris Sabat. He's like, poor boy must have been under so much stress for a heart attack to kill him that easily. I'm like, oh my gosh,
yes,
he did that to
the
him.
Relationship between her father, and I'm going to call her
right.
her father.
Well, technically, she wanted to be a her. So,
yes,
her.
Anyway, we're not going to get political about this. But
anyway,
no.
I'm just.
To be honest, he could fall off at any time.
The head?
Zombies.
Yes.
He's talking about the Wayne gang.
The other head.
The other head could fall off at any time.
When they first started showing, we're just going to call him Chris Sabat because I forget her dad's name.
Pa. That's the only thing I remember.
Pa. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I was getting a little creeped out. I'm like, why is he being like this? Where's this little girl? I'm like, oh, I get it. His daughter died. He's going through grief. That's why he doesn't like watching TV, because he was really into watching TV.
Because she was on TV.
Yeah, and then he was pushing her to be, better and all that stuff, and that was stressing her out. And he didn't notice this until after she had passed.
Yep. And to be honest, out of all the songs, I actually didn't have a problem with any of the songs. But her song to her dad bothered me. It felt rushed. It did not flow.
It was out of place, but at the same time, it kind of makes sense that it was rushed, because it was like, literally, you know what? I'm gonna write something, for my dad.
Yeah, but it didn't sound good. Like, I'm talking. You see what I'm trying to say?
There was one line in particular where they rushed through the lyrics super fast because of the Japanese translation. So they had to keep the music, but the lyrics they had to swap over into English. So to get the message across, that one sentence had to be rushed like it was a rap song really quick.
And I didn't like
flow as well just because of the translation. There's not a lot you can do about that.
And I will say, it like you said, you thought the first episode was going to bother me because they're in a death metal show.
Guy.
Yeah, I'm a metalhead. It actually didn't bother me. The only part that kind of bothered me a little bit was the fact they didn't even try to say or, put force in any lyrics. It was literally just, just in a fucking mic.
Well, technically, Sakura was literally the only zombie that could speak at the time. The other ones were just going off of pure instinct.
I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of waiting for her to break out some kind of lyrics,
like
maybe
something,
a hook or something. She could
yeah, but also didn't expect her to know anything about metal either.
True,
but she could have. She could have threw anything together instead of just. To me, that's where I started to notice a little bit of lazy writing.
Oh, this is true. Now, let's move on to another character. But we'll do Sakura last because we all didn't really like that very much.
Fucking pity party.
Her development with being a
Iron
Frill,
Iron Frill, being a Japanese idol, like not even that long ago, and then dying
mid 2000s. Like, it was pretty idolish time.
Yeah, like what was that? Like 30 years ago in their time?
Maybe
10, because she died same time as Sakura.
Yeah, literally.
Like her development and being, she comes from this background, and she just is going through the struggle of getting back on stage.
Not only that, it's her being a professional and then seeing a group of random girls thrown together. She's like, this isn't going to work. Like, my crew actually worked really hard, and we had decided this is what we're going to do. We trained every day. And then she's just thrown into this random group of girls. She's like, I don't know any of these guys. I don't know if they're serious. How am I supposed to know if this is going to work or not?
And I have one other complaint. This actually is not, it's kind of tied to the show, but it's also because I go to a lot of concerts. If there's any type of rainstorm, they shut down. They do not allow the performers to still be out there for cases of being struck by lightning.
I mean, I don't know what the case is like in Japan or in.
I would assume that it'd be the same.
I'm guessing it's just a plot point.
I'm thinking so too.
But not gonna lie, that is the most metal way to go.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. That was actually that was actually
burnt. Like, I'd imagine that if that happened in real life, the crowd would just be like, "Yeah, hell yeah! Check that special effects. That was dope."
I can
and then
smell
5
it
minutes
from
later,
here.
be like, "Wait a minute."
But then, that's one thing that really bothered me too about this lazy writing is, of course, they show her doing that, and then when she has to do her performance on stage, of course she gets struck by lightning. Oh my god!
But because she's a zombie, she cannot die.
And then look, we got laser beams and we're auto-tuned.
Yeah, that one, the auto-tune and laser thing.
That was funny, and it didn't make any sense.
No, it did not.
But it was funny.
Comic relief.
Before we go on to the next one, let's talk about the diehard fans. The two guys are like at every single event.
The metalheads.
Dude, the metalhead, yeah.
Was it just me or that one dude with the lightning bolts like gained 10 pounds every time he went to a show?
Okay, wasn't he like a reference to Hunter x Hunter? The protagonist in that?
I thought he looked more like the bad guys from the new Pokemon game. The Yelling Squad.
I legit thought it was from Hunter x Hunter.
I don't know why one of them was in Japan and was British, but...
Because they're literally... I looked in the credits. They're literally called Death Metal Guy 1, Death Metal Guy 2.
Yeah.
So apparently they're just assuming that all Europeans, created death metal, which... Don't get me started.
I think it strains from Viking metal is what they were thinking, but...
That's not...
We don't burn
metal.
churches around here.
That's black metal?
Is it still European?
It's Norwegian, but
so it's
that's
European.
but that's black metal. There's a difference between black metal and death metal.
Well, let's say metal in general.
That's like saying...
They literally only did one metal opening. That was it. There were no lyrics, so you can't really say...
No, but if you're going to call the two guys death metal heads...
Maybe that's just how they wrote them.
I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm getting nitpicky because I'm metalhead.
Understandable. Now, Junko. She's an idol from a different era completely.
I think the 50s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The 50s are... I want to say the 80s because the way she talked...
I
thought
believe
it
it was the
80s.
80s, yeah.
I feel like it was more 80s.
It's possible that she was from the 80s, but the way that she described the TV as the tube, and then the TV they showed with the dials, I feel like it was earlier.
She didn't know what internet was either.
But that's the 80s.
Well,
I literally
it
had a
could have been
TV
80s,
from the
50s.
80s that still had the turn dials.
Yes.
It's possible.
Or 70s. It could be the 70s, but she didn't give off the 70s vibe, which would be disco at that point in time.
Now
I get a Madonna feel from her.
Now, with her development being the whole, idols back then didn't act the way that they're doing right now. They didn't, show, as much of their, personalities or, what they are really like outside of the stage or to their, fans in person, because anything that could be used back then as could be a scandal is everyday things now.
Oh yeah,
she wasn't used to that.
Back then, singers were more like diplomats who had a talent. Like you were just seen as a figure representing Japan.
They
like
kept themselves at a distance.
Oh yeah.
Yes. See, that's another reason why I think she's more 80s than anything else. But I could be wrong too.
Now, Saki.
Which one's Saki?
The biker.
The biker girl.
Oh my god.
She got on my nerves most. You want to die?
Not gonna lie, she was pretty stereotypical of the anime biker, and it's just overplayed.
Did y'all not get the Easter egg though for her?
What?
She's a total ripoff from Akira. I did. I nailed it. The red.
What made you think that?
One, her outfit was completely red, like what's his name, the main character.
Yeah.
And the bike she wore, or the bike she rode, looked similar.
You gotta nip that one in the bud, because once again, that whole what's it called?
I said it looked similar.
Bozuzoku style not only goes from cars, but it also goes to bikes.
Yes, I know,
Yeah.
but it just first time I saw her, and the fact she was in a biker game and she ran the biker gang, I just automatically tripped that for me. I know what you're talking about.
This could have been an homage. This could have been like a something that they took from. Which, let's be honest, Akira being that old, a lot of other animes have kind of
of course.
It's a stereotype of the biker gang. Yeah, it all looks similar, but yeah.
But for me watching it, that did trip that for me. But she was the most annoying character on the show.
But it's got all the good stereotypes of the biker anime. There's always that one person that walks around with a really crazy look in their eye, and the one person that says they're going to kill you no matter what you did. Pick up a pencil or whatever.
The very edgy middle school gang leader. Yes.
Yeah.
She never, she was so stereotypical. It was boring.
Now her little, character development / origin little episode in episode 9, I didn't think it was that bad.
It was. I just thought it was stupid.
It could have been worse. It wasn't great, but it wasn't.
I mean, she totally
bad.
saved her oldest friend's, daughter from literally flying over a cliff, which she then did, and then crawled out like it was nothing because she's already dead.
I just kind of wish the daughter would have died. Sorry. I hated her so much. As soon as she started to talk back and just act the way she acted, I really wish at that point in time I could find a TV.
She was kind of being a C-word to her mom.
Yes, thank you. She really was.
And her mom turning around her entire life to make a better life for her because she lost her friend.
I like how she kept her old bike, though.
Yes.
Which was then destroyed.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. It was just bad.
I think her mom had more character development.
Yes. Then half the cast.
I'm sorry, it's true.
I don't know about half the cast. Anyway,
Half the cast.
I forget her name, but the courtesan, the geisha from like Edo period
Yuguri.
Japan. Yuguri, yes, number
Yuguri.
5.
She is a guilty pleasure in that anime.
Yeah, she
for
is
me.
a classic.
How dare you?
She is a classic.
You will believe in her.
Well.
That was literally what you heard me, right?
Like, remember when they're doing the rap battle and she's literally playing the sitar?
Yeah.
Oh my god. She gets ready to sing. She's like, all right, we're about to get started. And she's like bowing down, like pure classic. Oh
Yes.
my gosh.
But to me, she was the most boring of the characters.
Why?
She just was.
I'd have slapped
Now,
you like she
didn't,
does.
she didn't get
I
enough
don't
screen
care.
time as everybody, but when you saw her, she was always very quirky. Like
Didn't
when they
it?
were taking pictures, she was doing it like very seductive, like she was still a courtesan. And
Did anybody feel like she was kind of like the den mother of the group?
No.
A little bit.
Did anybody except him feel like that way?
I don't-
because she is technically the oldest.
I don't feel like
The
she
most
was the
mature.
den mother because, once again, she didn't know what was going on half the time. Even she admitted that. She's like, I understand I'm a little confused about these new age concepts, but I've learned to go with the flow. If she was a little bit more upfront and being parenting more, then yes, I would agree with you.
Well, maybe not parenting, but she did provide advice for a lot of the girls.
Yes, she was there mentally for the girls a lot.
Besides, just hated her. She was just boring. Every time she was on, I was like, she's going to do her thing where she slaps you and then says the exact thing you were trying to say. Ooh, that's so funny.
Funny every time.
No, it really wasn't.
Spud didn't like anybody from the cast.
Yeah, I did.
Who?
The dog.
The dog was adorable.
Okay,
Romero.
That brings me to my next question. Who?
Well, hold on now. Did we talk about Zero?
No, we didn't talk about Zero.
Is there anything really to talk about besides she's a zombie? And she's a zombie?
Yamada.
Tai Yamada. The
Yeah.
legendary Tai Yamada.
Only thing I remember
Yeah.
from her is
Yes.
yep, that. Or rip off your shirt. I'm sorry. It's
She had the most physical character development / evolution from a basic zombie to a more coherent but still very
Shaun the Dead zombie.
Even her dance moves were weird and zombie-like, so that was pretty cool.
Close enough.
in
to
one
match,
episode
yeah.
they literally just put a mask on her so she wouldn't sing because she technically can't sing. She still can't really speak.
Yeah.
No.
She got close though.
Yeah. And of course, Sakura's development at the end. Now I will agree with Spud. It
Oh
was
my
very
God.
pity party. It was very depressing.
It was very
good.
shit writing.
It was very shit writing. Honestly, they could have wrapped it up in just one episode,
And you know
and
what's
then done the last.
You know what was so bad? I knew from the moment that they announced that they're going to do the big 500 people thing, and they went up into the mountains and everything like that.
Training in the mountains.
In the mountains.
I knew something was going to happen like this that was just going to throw me over the edge. And the fact she went out, it literally played the first movie the first episode all over again when she's running out with her. She's, and then bam. I literally I was sitting there watching. I'm like, this bitch going to get hit by another van. Watch it. She's going to get hit.
She would have been fine though.
Yeah, she would have been fine because she's already dead. But then, of course, I lost all my memories again. But they don't even press the issue on her memories. Like, they mention it. Oh, I don't remember none of that. And then, nobody cares. But now we're going to spend 3 fucking episodes on how she's such bad luck? It was bullshit.
It was bad writing, but I'm not gonna say the entire anime was terrible just for 3 episodes that we didn't want.
It's like saying, Megaloboxing was, good
It was
for
good.
for the boring.
It was pretty good.
It was, yeah, I don't think so. It was boring.
So, what was your favorite moments from the anime? Do you guys even have a favorite moment?
I do.
All
absolutely.
of Ty's moments.
Pretty much
Good morning!
Oh, we almost forgot about one character, the manager.
Music! Come on!
There was never a dull moment with him, and all of his more softer moments still weren't that bad.
Yeah.
He couldn't save it.
Oh, he saved it. He
For
made it.
y'all.
He made the show.
For y'all. He couldn't do it for me. Like I said, the dog was the best part because I loved in their vision or anybody else's vision. The dog was like this vicious rabies infested thing. And then when you actually see him, I'm like, Like he's nutting. I'm like, oh, that's actually kind of cute.
I will say this: I would like to see another season just for his own development with soccer and what they're not telling us.
No.
Once you saw the backstory, what Sakura meant to him, and that he was basically doing most of this for her, that really, because he was just comedic relief. Oh wait, this guy might really be somebody. Like that to me, I really enjoyed that.
I also would like to see just how he was able to reanimate the dead.
Yeah,
They never went into that. There was that one scene when he was in the bar talking to some older dude, and they were mentioning some sort of scientific mumbo jumbo, and that was literally it.
And I don't buy his background story. He's like, oh yeah, we got to just save this community from losing money. I'm like, you didn't bring back the
We
dead to
gotta
start an
save
idol
Saga.
group to save Saga. That's
And that was another thing that really bothered me about this whole entire show was the intro. Intro starts off, it's dark, it's gritty. They're giving a quick backstory. We're going to still do our dreams no matter what. And then this, I'm like, I was just jerking my dick not to give me nothing.
Well, if you're like most people, after you've watched the first intro, you usually skip it for the rest of the episodes because you're tired of seeing the intro like 50 million
Well,
times.
speaking of the intro, how did you guys feel about the actual cast singing it? The intro and the outro.
I mean, that was actually kind of cool. I do agree. That was actually kind of cool.
Mm.
The fact that they were actually a group and actually doing their thing.
Actually singing their
I'll,
yeah.
I'll give that.
I was a fan of that. You don't see that too often.
No, you really don't.
Nope.
But, I mean, I'm that type of guy that keeps the intro going because the intro is one thing that really helps me get into it. Especially like King's Game. The damn intro was so good that I was like, no matter what, I'm watching this for that. And then I followed into the story. There you go. I'm that type of person.
Well, now what if Dragon Ball Z had a completely crappy intro for every single season?
Doesn't
And
it?
you just base it up.
Chala! Hey, chala!
It's
No.
cringy.
No.
That's your favorite intro?
There's not a bad intro for Dragon Ball Z.
What about Super?
Oh, that's the one we're cringing over.
Super wasn't great.
Talk bad about my damn Dragon Ball Z?
Don't feel good, does it? Anyway,
Oh, I don't know.
I've got more than enough salt.
Oh.
All right, so Aaron was talking about favorite moments. I already said that mine were just about all of Tai Yamada's, ones. What about you guys?
None.
What about you other guys?
I really like Kotaro, man. He's the manager.
Mm.
He's such an awesome character, and just about any scene that he is in.
When he blitzed through that door, whenever Junko's feeling all sad about her stuff,
You little sad sack.
and then he's like, "Fix this door."
Yeah. What are we in a barn?
My favorite moment's got to be when they were in the mountains and number one falls into the pit.
Oh yeah, the boar pit.
Yeah, and then there's those small moments where they're like shown as like a really well drawn, like detailed, ugly looking zombie. Like, quick, I read this in a book. Act dead. And she's like,
She is dead.
and I'm like, well, that's retarded. That's not gonna work. The second he bit her face, I just could not help but just choke on my own saliva. It
The
was
mountain
hilarious.
was good. Whenever Ai is hunting the boar with a makeshift bow, and I'm like, where did this come from?
That kind of weirded me out, like the animation stuff. She's like, I got him. I'm like, why is it so slow? What's happening here?
Well, she probably doesn't have enough strength to actually propel. And you
Well,
don't know
apparently
about how
they
tight
sing.
that string was.
True.
And other things. I don't know.
But yeah, that was my favorite moment. Most hated moment.
All.
You can start.
All. There. All.
You're just that type of guy. Oh, the intro's bad. The last 3 episodes are bad. Oh, it's completely bad. In
At
its
least
entirety.
At least I waited to 9 episodes to finally conform my opinion.
Even you said up until that it was okay.
It was okay, and when I mean okay, here's medium okay. It was like down here on the bottom, like this is okay.
No, you bastard. This is Fate Zero all over again, isn't it?
Oh God, don't get me started.
Hmm.
Give me a fucking winner instead of damn stalemate.
Watch more seasons. You never
Nope.
know.
You already told me that they all end the same way.
I mean, they're still coming out.
I mean, you haven't read the hentais yet.
No,
so-
no.
Trust me, somebody will win.
Sending links mentally.
What about you, Josh? What moment did you hate the most of all?
Oh.
Probably the pity party.
Pity party.
Probably the pity
I
party.
think everybody's going to agree with the pity
Yeah,
party.
we'll agree with the pity party.
The pity party was bad, but I think the moment that I hated the most, just because it was at the end of the season or the first episode. Well, not the end, but pretty close. All this random stuff's hitting you at once. We're zombies. By the way, you woke up and you were dead 10 years ago, and all this stuff's getting thrown at you, and they're like, all right, now you're getting set up for your rock concert. And I'm like, this is just going nowhere. There's nothing that could possibly throw this show off any more than it already is. And then you see Zero go, and then the others stop and
Hey,
like,
hey,
they're like,
can't
"What?
beat them? Join them.
And they're all just like, I'm like, what the hell is going on? I had no idea it was going to play out for the show. You know, with the metal concert, I'm just like, I don't know what the fuck is going on anymore.
It's like, usually you don't start out a set with a mosh pit.
Okay, are we done with this? I actually kept it tame.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, he didn't roll out the big floppy donkey deck.
I mean, I am still giving him the stink eye for picking it, but that's okay. That's his thing.
So who's next?
Me.
Oh. Prepare your donkey dicks, gentlemen.
It's all right. If you don't like it, you don't like it.
And what is it?
Gallery Zero.
Gare Zero?
Yeah, same
Okay.
for me.
Wait,
Yeah,
wait,
see?
what? One more
We've
time?
seen a couple episodes of that.
I've
Yes.
seen about 5. I just don't remember the
I
last
just need
thing.
to finish it.
Say it, because I'm going to butcher it.
Gare Zero.
It's on Funimation.
Okay.
It's a good story about betrayal.
You've got the DVDs though, right?
Yeah, I've borrowed his DVDs.
Yeah, I was about to say, you borrowed
Yeah.
my
Cool.
copies.
Yeah, I got them.
They're really good. I like them a lot.
Pretty good.
So, are we good with that? Are we
Yeah,
good?
we're
Yeah,
good.
Let's do it.
you know what we're watching.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So we're done. We're done.
Although I will admit that the opening scene from Gare Zero just looks like Senran Kagura.
I don't care what you say.
It just looks like Senran Kagura, like the main characters from the game.
Okay.
I'm just saying, it just looks familiar.
Cool.
Okay.
And with that and the mountain of salt that we're all standing on, we're gonna finish it here.
He's standing on it.
GoPro, go off!
We're ending it. Like, comment, and subscribe.